Okay, good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you for having me. First time I've probably done something like this in a long time. I hope you'll be glad to know I'm not going to present lots of graphs and lots of data, because what I really want to talk about is about how we're going about preventing food waste and preventing all waste. And it's really about people. It's about how you change culture and how you change behaviours rather than all about the data. The data is important, don't get me wrong, but I think the biggest change we need to make is about how do we change the culture and how we think about waste, and waste in all of its forms. My background is in operations, operational excellence, lean practitioning, that kind of thing. So all waste is waste. You know, doesn't matter where it comes from, it's waste. So if you can do without it, it's a good thing. So really it's about how do we get everybody thinking about those kind of behaviours. And I guess one simple example that I'll mention is how many of you leave the toilet light on at home? I'm guessing it's probably zero. But why do lots of people do that in the factory and at work? You know, simple bit of waste, but we all do it. So it's how do we change those behaviours? Because that's all it is, a simple behaviour about how we all think about things. So let's talk about food waste and what we're doing at O'Brien's. I will also say we're not perfect. We're not experts. We're just having a go. And I think that's what it's about. It's about changing what you do and have a go and just try and do something better tomorrow than you did today. That's the key about us. So who are we? I don't know if you know who we are. I don't know. We actually are a manufacturer and a leading manufacturer of premium cooked meats in Ireland. You might know our brands better than our company name. So I hope you've all heard of Brady Family and Green Farm and Homebird, which are our three biggest brands. But we also supply most of the main retailers with their premium cooked meats as well. We're a family business. Bill bought our business about 22 years ago. And when he bought it, there was 18 employees back in Timahoe. We're now actually 600 in Ireland, and we just bought a business in the UK. So we've got about 150 people in the UK as well. So we've grown, and as we've moved from being a small family business to being a medium-sized enterprise, you've got to start thinking differently about how you manage that. And as I say, it's about culture and people. When there's only 18 employees, you know, as the managing director or the boss, you can go around and talk to everybody personally. As you get to having 600 or 700, you can't see everybody every day. So you've got to start thinking about the systems, the procedures, and the culture you need to put in place. We base our business a lot on family values. So those are our business values: care, commitment, and trust. And that's how we run our business. And the key to it in the middle there is always about doing the right thing. So it's doing the right thing about people, or in this case, doing the right, sorry, am I not allowed to move around? I don't like standing at the podium, but hey. But it's about doing the right thing for our people, but in this case, it'll be about doing the right thing for waste and the environment. So, sorry, there we go. One of the key things about our business is we operate around a purpose. And our purpose is about bringing better quality food to everybody every day. So we also have pillars of strategy like you would in any other business, like grow our people, grow our revenue, grow our profit. But the key is this purpose, because that's what we're about. That's why we're here. That's what we're trying to achieve. And we deliver our purpose through three core pillars, which are about being better sourced, better made, and better for you. So better source will be about local sourcing, animal welfare, those kind of things. Better made is all about factories, efficiency, eliminating waste, recycling. But also better for you, healthier, better products. So we're looking at doing that. And we're running our business through looking at being responsible, but also what are we doing about climate action and climate change, and then how are we using our people to grow and develop that business. And one of the things that we've done as a business, we've taken waste, and it's actually under our sustainability pillar. So while it has a big financial impact on our business, we're actually looking at it from a sustainability, doing the right thing, because we're a food manufacturer who uses animal products. Most of our carbon footprint is in the animals and in growing the livestock. So any food waste that you might get is actually bad for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's immoral. you know. There are people starving in the world. Animals are dying to make these products. So we need to respect that. Similarly, you know, it's not good for the environment. It's a big carbon footprint, you know, either making the food in the first place or actually dealing with the waste that has come from it. It's a big carbon impact. And finally, we're a business, you know, we're here to actually invest and grow and keep making a little bit of money. So actually, it's not good for you financially. But as a business, we've tried to take it away from the finance and put it more into the sustainability and that real purpose of what we're about. Sorry, I can't stand still, it's hard for me. So, how did we go about it? Well, we did the pilot with the food waste methodology. And, you know, we've got a similar version of the hierarchy there. But I think it's taught us a few things, and that's what's really key in this. So the first thing is go and understand where all your waste is going, because actually you probably don't know where all of it goes. You probably don't know where all of it's coming from. And some waste is, you know, we feel it's tolerable or it's acceptable. So as I say, we're a big pork ham manufacturer. We get lots of legs of pork. In every leg, there is a bone. We don't use the bone, but it sort of became a tolerable waste because it comes with a product. It's a necessary, byproduct. But actually, is it right to, you know, dispose of that, to bury it or incinerate it? And while I'm standing here today, we haven't got a solution for that, if I'm being honest. But we've said to ourselves, we've got to get to zero waste. And that includes things like bones. So while we might not be able to use them, how do we find a use for them that is better than things like anaerobic digestion or composting or incineration or whatever? And I don't know what the answer is yet, but one day we might. So that's what we'll work on. The key other thing, though, is a lot of waste has a value to it, and this actually turns businesses on. So, you know, one of the things that we can do is how can we repurpose that waste and drive some value from it if we're not driving value. So, you know, some of the things we all probably do with our packaging waste, we're all segregating waste and trying to recycle and that kind of thing. But it's the same with some of our food waste. Can we find another way of doing it? One of the things we've done, which is second in the hierarchy there, where we do have low code, so I guess you all sort of know bits about the industry, where we have products where the shelf life has gone too low to sell, but it's still perfectly edible. We're using people like Food Cloud and actually redistributing that food to people. And so at least it's being consumed. We might not get any value from it, but at least it's not gone in a dustbin somewhere. And actually we're using Food Cloud or doing the catering at one of our employee appreciation events on Friday next week. So, you know, it's how do you keep that moving around, and we add value, they add value to us. It's a good sort of partnership that we've got there. The key, as we said, I think as Neve said, prevention. At the end of the day, elimination is always the first step in any hierarchy. And we're trying to do that, but it's quite interesting, I'll come on to it on the next slide, but how people's minds are about it, and this is perhaps where some of the key things are. And I think one of the other things that we changed quite a lot, and my colleague in the audience coined this phrase this week, everybody uses, so everybody reduces. You know, it's not about one person, it's not about one team, it's not about your head of CI or your environmental specialist. Everybody actually has a role to play in this, and it's about how, by changing all our behaviours, we actually start to do some things a little bit different and make a difference to the overall problem. So when we look at actually the process we followed, first thing was understanding that makeup. And as I say, we found a few things out that we sort of knew, but we weren't really aware of. I think the second bit, though, that's really important in this, it's about being bold. I was looking at the target there, halving food waste by 2030. We said we'd half it by 2025. Now, I'm talking to my boss, he's saying, can we half it by 2023? And you sort of think, you know, how long have we got to do this? Now, I don't know whether I can half it by 2025, if I'm being truly honest with you. But if I could save 40%, it's far better than saying I'll save 10 and actually delivering 15. I'd rather aim for 50 and deliver 40 than aim for 10 and only deliver 15. Because actually we've all made a bigger difference. So I think, for me, one of these things is about, don't be frightened about it. We've set ourselves that target. It is 2025 at the minute, so I'll go back to the office. But then it's also about
how do we measure it? And this unearths some really interesting things in our business. As I say, on one level, food waste was tolerable because it was part of the process. I mean, you probably read the backs of our packs. It says you put 120 grams of pork in 100 grams of product. So we're planning to lose 20%. But so we started looking at things in a different way. And somebody coined the phrase, well, it's okay the yield's low on that product because it's in the cost base. It's in the costing we give to our customer. So we've just increased the price to the customer because we've wasted a bit. So we've got our money back, we're happy. Well, we're not really, are we? Because at the end of the day, we've had food waste. And you sort of think about the current economic climate, you know, we're all trying to sort of recover the costs of inflation, energy, etc. The retailers are trying to protect their margins and protect consumers in terms of household income and sort of the cost of living rises. And like we've got waste in there, it's just not right. So we've got to do a better job on our side and think there isn't any real tolerable waste. Whether you're getting paid for it or not, it's waste. Waste is waste. That's what Lean teaches us. The key thing then, and it is about involving the many, because everybody doing a little bit actually makes a big difference. And one of the things that we're starting to try and do, we've invested in our business. We've introduced professional CI, continuous improvement specialists. We've actually taken people out of the day-to-day jobs and we've put them into our improvement teams. But what we're starting to do now is how do we empower and enable the people who do the job every day to take control of those decisions? So rather than it being somebody who's not there to take a decision after the event, what we're trying to do is how do we empower the guys on the line, the guys in the factory, the guys in the warehouse, wherever it may be, to make the right decisions at the right time, that do the right thing. And that's really where we're at the moment and starting to move through. So that's it. I'm sort of coming to the end, I guess. Just a couple of parting comments here. So firstly, thank you for having me, and I think we're going to go into the panel session in a moment. But I think what I'd encourage everybody to do, to have a go. You know, don't be frightened. We're not perfect, as I said. We're not the experts. We're having a go. It's better than it was, and it will be better again next week, next year, next month. And that's what we've all got to do, I think, because all by doing something, actually the world will change. So thank you very much.